topic, that is operation on sets. Like if you have the number system, you have operations on the numbers like addition, multiplication, subtraction and division and all. Now like that, if I have two sets or three sets and so on, so what are the operations I can do? So out of those operations, first one is union of two sets. So what exactly it means? If I take two sets A and B, or any two sets, okay, A has some elements, B has some elements, it may be same or different, or some elements may be same or some elements may be different. Then the union of two sets is the combination of all the elements of A and B. That means you will get the another set C as A union B. So which means that it consists of all the elements of A as well as the elements of B. And we use this symbol to denote the union. And if I say A union B, this is how you write A union B. A capital letter U and then B, A union B. Okay, so let's take the example. How do you understand this one, union? Now if I go for, let's say A has the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the elements of A. And B has the elements 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the elements of B. Now if I want to find A union B, okay, so here I written the set C, or maybe you can call it as A union B. So how does it look like? What are the elements will the set have? Now see what are the common elements of first A and B. The elements of A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here in A union B also I written the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And B has the elements 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you observe, 4 and 5 is there in both the sets. I kept in the red colors. Okay, so here I no need to write 4 and 5 twice. As we discussed, the elements in set comes only once. It will not repeat. Like I cannot write 4, 5, 4, 5 twice. Okay, 4, 5 is already taken from set A. So that will be considered as 4 and 5 is also an element of B. Now what are the other elements are left out? 6, 7, 8 and 9. So I kept 6, 7, 8, 9. Now if you observe the elements of A union B clearly, it has the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are the elements from set A as well as the elements from set B. If I add all together at a place, that is called the union. Okay. So that means if I give the set instead of A and B, if I give the set A union B as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and if I ask you to write what are the elements of A and what are the elements of B in the reverse process. Here you have seen A and B are given, then you have written A union B. Now if I give A union B and I ask you to extract what is set A and what is set B, that will be difficult. Because we are not sure that exactly the elements belongs to A or the elements belongs to B or the elements belongs to A and B. Okay, so the reverse questions you won't get. The set A will be given to you, B will be given to you, then you have to find A union B. A union B is the set which consists of all the elements of A as well as all the elements of B. Now that is the meaning. If X is an element of A union B, that means X belongs to A union B. That means X is an element of A, or X is an element of B, or X is an element of A as well as B. A and B. So it can be a part of A, or it can be a part of B, or it can be a part of both A and B. That is the meaning of X belongs to A. Now if I go for the Venn diagrams, that's what we said that next class we discussed about the Venn diagram. Venn diagram of A union B. This rectangular box is representing the universal set U. Okay, so your universal set always will be in the shape of rectangular box. Inside this universal set, you have one circle with set A, okay, and another circle with set B. You can take the same size or different size, it It doesn't matter, just there has to be two circles. Now A union B means the blue color is highlighted in both the sets. The circle A and circle B completely highlighted with the blue color. That means A union B is the set which consists of all the elements of set A as well as all the elements of set B. Now you may ask why they are intersecting. Because it is intersecting because of there are some elements common between A and B, like 4 and 5 here. If you see this set 4 and 5 and 4 and 5 as in red color, so those are the common elements of A as well as B. So those common elements will come in between the intersection. Okay, so this is the Venn diagram of A union B. For to draw the Venn diagram, always I will have a universal set in the rectangular box. As many sets we have. Here I have set A and set B. Okay, so that's why I have taken the two circles. If you have three sets, then you have to draw the three circles. So this is the Venn diagram of A union B. Now there are some properties of the union. As I said, what are the properties? First property is if I have A and B sets, I got A union B. What about B union A? If I want to find B union A, B union A means it consists all those elements from B as well as the elements from A. Can I say B union A is same as A union B? The elements will remain same. If you want, take a notebook, find out the B union A, the elements from B as well as the elements from A. If I write, my elements will be same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe the order they appear may change. Okay, if you don't arrange them, then first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 1, 2, 3 may come, but still the elements are same. If I say two sets are same, I don't require the order has to be same, only the element has to be same. So that is the first property. A union B equals to B union A, and we call it as commutative property. I think you already discussed in the number system what is commutative. If A plus B equals to B plus A, then A and B satisfies the commutative property. Next, associative property. A union B union C will be equals to A union B union C. So what associative property says is, first you find A union B according to the BODMAS rule. First bracket has to be evaluated. So first you find A union B, you will get the another set. That set union with C. Whatever the answer you get is same as first finding the B union C. That means first you find B union C, then find A union. Both the answers will remain same. Okay. The answer of LHS, the answer of RHS will remain same. That is called the associative law. Next, law of identity element. That means A union phi. We already discussed phi as an empty set which does not contain any element. If I take union with set A, so A union phi is a set which consists of elements of A as well as elements of phi. I know phi has nothing, so union will give you again the same set A. Okay, so that's why A union phi is equals to A. Next, idempotent law, which is A union A. That means a set is taking union with the same set. So then I have to get the same set again, A only. A union A will give me same elements of A only. Okay, if you want to understand, yes, you have the set A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again I will take union with A only. So the common elements will remain same. I mean, all the elements will remain same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why A union A is again will be equals to A. Now here universal set is union with A. Be careful now. First you represent universal set, the next notation will represent union with A. Universal set with A will give you again universal set, because universal set is bigger than always its subset set A. If I take union, then elements will come all from the universal set. So when you do the examples, you can understand this property more clearly. I'll go through the example. Okay, so there are 5 properties of the union. Now this is one of the property which we discussed as union of two sets. Okay, so wherever, okay, I'll come to next. Next one is intersection of sets. What do you mean by the intersection of sets? Intersection is if I take A and B are the two sets, then A intersection B will be something, the element which are common for both the sets. That means if I take an element in the A intersection B, that must be an element of A as well as that must be an element of B. Remember, in union I discussed it has to be in A or B or maybe both. But in the intersection, the element has to be the elements of both the sets. And this is the symbol which we use for describing the intersection. When I say A intersection B, this is how we write A intersection B. This is the reverse of U symbol, union symbol. Okay. Now take an example to understand this. I have set A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B as 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then A intersection B is again a set. That's why I name it as C equals to A intersection B, and the answer will come as 4, 5. Why 4, 5? Because 4, 5 are the only elements which are common for both the sets. Understood? Now, what is the case? Let me take another example here. If I take C equals to, maybe I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then I'll take D equals to, so what do you get? 5, 7, comma, maybe some 11. I'll take like this, any two sets. Then if I want C intersection D, if I want C intersection D, that is the common elements of C and D. If you observe the C set and D set, here C has 1, 2, 3, 4 and D has 5, 7, 11. Is there any common element between C and D? Nothing. If nothing element is common, then I'll say it is a empty set, or you'll put it as this way, or you can use that 5 symbol. Okay, instead of empty set you can use that 5 notation. I think you are aware of the 5 notation. This is 5 notation. That also you can write here instead of empty bracket. Okay, so here I have, if X belongs to A intersection B, that means X is an element of A intersection B, then X must be an element of A and X must be an element of B. So here you have to focus on this condition. And so and means intersection. If you go to the union conditions, here I have A, or X belongs to A, or X belongs to B, or X belongs to A and B. Understood? So here the intersection means, I hope you understood what is the intersection. Is the common element between A and B. If I have 3 intersection A intersection B intersection C, 3 sets, then the element has to be the part of set A, set B and set C. It has to be in all the 3 sets. Then only I can consider in the, if nothing is common, then it is an empty set. For example, if I have 3 sets A, B, C, and there is an element which is common for A and B, but it is not there in C, then also A intersection B intersection C will come as an empty set. Okay, it's not enough to be a common for 2 sets. If I have A intersection B intersection C, the element has to be common for all the 3 sets. Similarly, it will go. If I have 5 sets also, if I want intersection of all the 5 sets, then it has to be an element of all the 5 sets. Even it is a common element 4, not is there in 5th section, 5th set, then the intersection of all the sets will come an empty set. Please be careful. Now, how do the Venn diagram of A intersection B look like? As I said, the common elements of A and B is called an intersection. So this common portion of A and B, because this blue color part is the common for set A and set B. If I take this part, this is not a common in B. if I take this part here, okay, so that is not common in A. So if I have this blue color part, that is the only part which is common for both A and B. So that shaded part will represent A intersection B. So here also I have the commutative property. A intersection B is same as B intersection A. So if I have two sets, you find A intersection B or B intersection A, the common elements will remain same. And similarly, associative property also will satisfy. A intersection B intersection C equals to A intersection B intersection C. Okay. Now here there is a little bit sense. Empty set is intersecting with A. Understood? Empty set is intersection with A. That means the common elements of empty set and the set A. Do you have any common between an empty set and set A? Empty set has no elements and A has some elements. Then the common elements will be again empty only. Right? So that's why empty set intersection A is again empty. But when we discuss about the union, empty set union with A is equals to A. Similarly, universal set intersection with A. The whole universal set intersection with A will be again A. It cannot be the universal set. But it is in union case, it will be universal. But in intersection case, it will be A. Because I am talking about only common elements when we discuss about intersection. Now A intersection A, the set intersection with the same set, must have all the elements of A. That's why A intersection A will give me again A. Then I have distributive law. Distributive law which carries a union and intersection part. A intersection B union C will be same as A intersection B union A intersection C. That's what the distributive property says. If you remember the distributive property for number system, it also has the same. A into B plus C equals to AB plus AC. Right? So for the union and intersection, the distributive property is A intersection B union C equals to A intersection B union A intersection C. Now, let's take an example to understand this with the how do you prove. Now onwards, you have to prove these properties. How do we prove these properties? With the help of Venn diagrams. So these are the 5 Venn diagrams I'll take. To first, diagram 1 is B union C. I have 3 sets because if you see the distributive property, I have A, B and C. A, B and C. If you have 3 sets, so I have drawn the 3 circles. Okay, if 3 circles are drawn, now you see first circle represents B union C. Why? Because B union C, if you observe here, A intersection B union C. So first I am drawing B union C circle. B union C means we already discussed the entire circle B as well as the entire circle C. That is B union C. Now this blue color area has intersection with A. You see intersection with A intersection B union C, right? B union C Venn diagram I got. Now I have to take an intersection with A. In the first diagram here, where you have B union C, how much part has the intersection with A? Just you decide how much part has the intersection with A. That means with the A circle, the entire blue color part, how much portion has a common portion with circle A? Okay, if you observe here, this part first, second and then third. Only this part will have the common for A. So see this diagram. Only this part will have the common with A. So that is the part of A intersection B union C. Now right side what you have? A intersection B and A intersection C. So here the first circle, this shaded part will represent me A intersection B. the common part of A and B. Now below part will represent me the common part of circle A and circle C. So this blue color part is the common part for B and C. Now I have in this identity union A intersection B union A intersection C. So A intersection B union A intersection means the parts together I have to take A intersection B as well as A intersection C part. So this is A intersection B part and this is A intersection C part. If I combine both the parts, this is the diagram which you get, A intersection B and A intersection C. Now observe these two diagrams, diagram 2 and diagram 5. Both are giving me the same shaded region. Part 2 and part 5 is giving both the same radius, shaded region. So part 2 circle, this diagram represents A intersection B union C, and part 5 represents A intersection B union A intersection C. Hence both are representing the same shaded region. So both are equal. Understood? So hence both the circles, LHS and RHS is equal. That's how you verify the formula by using the Venn diagram. We have to understand first what is the union diagram look like, then what is the intersection diagram look like, then how to solve it. So you have to draw these diagrams in the exam or in the notebook also. If they ask in the exam, then you have to do by this way. There is one more way also you have to prove that we'll explain in the next video maybe. Now third operation on the set, difference of the sets. If I have two sets A and B, then how do you find A minus B and B minus A, or A minus B or B minus A? Now see the definition. You have two sets A and B. In this order of the sets, elements of which belongs to A but not B. Symbolically we write it as A minus B, read it as A minus B, or if you want B minus A, then you will put B minus A. Now what exactly definition says? The elements which belongs to A, here it is, which belongs to A but not belongs to B. So you have two sets A and B. You have to look at both the sets. What are the elements which are there in A, but those elements must not be the element of B. Okay. So take the example. I have taken A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B as 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I have to find A minus B as well as B minus A. Now let me come for A minus B. A minus B definition says the elements which are in A but not in B. First I have to look at each and every one. One is there in A. Is one belongs to B? No, one is not there in B. So I put A minus B has one element, that is 1. Next I'll go for the number 2. Now I have to check this 2 is an element of B? Yes. Okay. B also has an element 2. A also has an element 2. So A minus B cannot have number 2. That's why I have not written number 2 here. Okay. Next, see the number 3. Number 3 is there in A. Now check, is the number 3 is there in B? No. So that's why A minus B will have 3 also. What about 4? 4 is in A as well as 4 is in B also. So I cannot take 4 in A minus B. So I skip it. Again 5 is there in A. Okay, but 5 is not there in B. So hence 5 will be there in A minus B. And now comes to 6. 6 is in A as well as 6 is also in B. So I cannot take 6 in A minus B set. So A minus B has only numbers 1, 3, 5. Now here we completed all the elements of A checking. Okay. Now you may say 8 is there in B. Okay. So can we put B in A minus B? No. Because see the definition. The elements which belongs to A but not to B. That's the definition of A minus B. So just I have to check each and every element of A only, whether it is the element of B also or not. If not, then the element will be there in A minus B. If the element is in A as well as in B, then I cannot consider that element in A base. Once we finish element of A, don't bother about the elements of B. How many are there? There are maybe infinite elements in B. When I find A minus B, I no need to bother about what are the elements left out in B. When should I bother? I have to bother when you find B minus A. Okay. If I want B minus A, then the definition says the elements of B which are not there in A. You got it? Elements of B which are not there in A. Now then I have to check each and every element of B whether they are the elements of A or not. Okay. So now I want B minus A here. B minus A, if you want, check 2. 2 is there in A. Yes. 4 is there in A. Yes. 6 is also there in A. 8 is not there in A, so B minus A has 8. Now for example here I also, if I put some element 9, then 10 also, then I have to check. 8 I already checked. 9 is there in B, but 9 is not there in A, so B minus A will have 9. Similarly 10 is there in B, but 10 is not there in A, so 10 also will come in B minus A. So now these things will keep on increases as if B has more numbers. Okay, I hope you understand the definition. Now you compare A minus B and B minus A elements. A minus B have 1, 3, 5. B minus A has 8, 9, 10. So what do you think? A minus B and B minus A are same? Are they equal? No. So that's why I said here A minus B is not equals to B minus A. So they never be equal. Understood? So this is the definition of A minus B. If you want set notation, A minus B equals to X such that X is an element of A, and X must be an element of A, and X must not be an element of B. X does not belongs to B. So this is a set notation of A minus B. Now what about the Venn diagram of A minus B? How does it look like? This is the Venn diagram of A minus B. Only I have shaded the region which is not have any common part with B. If you observe the circle carefully, this part, the blue color part, has no common part with B. Now here this part I have not considered. The common part of A and B I have to exclude. Why I am excluding this common part? Because if I consider the elements on the common part, that is also an element of B also. It's an element of A obviously, because the A circle is this bigger one. But if I take this part is also have the element which are there already in B as well. So but the definition says does not belongs to B. Okay. So that's why this common part I have to exclude. Now if you understand the now what about the B minus A portion? If I want B minus A Venn diagram, what circle will come? So in your notebook, please draw the diagram of B minus A also. Now how does it look like B minus A Venn diagram? Start from here. This circle, it will go here, then it will go here. This entire part will come B minus A. Now we have one important formula, that is A minus B part union with A intersection B union B minus A. If I consider these three sets, one is A minus B set, then second one is A intersection B set, and third one is B minus A set. The union of all these three sets will give you A union B set. Okay, the union of these three sets will give me complete shaded region. Let's see how does it work. This formula explanation has here. A minus B, this light blue color part, only this much. Okay. Then second one is A intersection B. A intersection B is this common part of A and B, and this unshaded part of B is B minus A. Okay, so this union this will give me the complete the two circles A and B. So that's why we call it as A union B. Okay, so this is the third operation which you have. First one is union, second one is intersection, third one is minus. Next one we have the complement of a set. Okay, what is the complement of a set? It's not most is the secret of or complement. Now take the definition. Let U is the universal set. This capital letter U always represents the universal set. So do not consider U to represent any set of which is not a universal. Okay. Generally we use A, B, C, X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, but we don't use U as a symbol to represent the set until unless it is a universal set. Okay. A complement of a set. I'm not going to the definition because it confuses you. So let me explain with the example. Okay, then you can understand the definition. Then we'll read the definition later on. For example, U is a universal set which consists of the numbers 1 to 10. So here is the universal set which consists of the numbers from 1 to 10. If you want, I'll put like this. Yeah, universal set consists of numbers from 1 to 10. And A is another set 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, all the odd numbers. A is another set consists of odd numbers. Now if I want to find A complement means you have to take the elements of A complement from U, those elements which does not belongs to A. A complement has the elements from the universal set which are not the elements of A. That is, one is the element of U, one is the element of A, so one cannot be there in the universal set. 2 is the element of U, 2 is not the element of A, so 2 is the element of A complement. You can see the A complement here. Universal set consists of all the numbers from 1 to 10. A is the set consists of odd numbers. Then A complement will consist of even numbers. Because all the odd numbers are already there in A, so A complements cannot have the same elements of A. Okay, so A complement has all those elements from U which does not belongs to A. So A has the odd numbers, then A complement will have even numbers. For example, A has even numbers, then A complement will have odd numbers. Or if, for example, if I take A set as 1, 2, 3, then A complement will have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If A has 1 to 9, then A complement will have only 10th number. Okay. Now I have to take now A set and A complement set. If I take the union of these two sets, A set and A complement set, if I take the union, I must get back to my universal set. That you have to remember. The union of A set and its complement set will always give you universal set, and the intersection of set A and its complement, A intersection A complement, will always give you an empty set. Okay, so there are the two properties you have to remember. A, there is the union symbol. Let me copy. Control C. If I take A union A complement, this always will give me universal set. And the second property says A, let me copy the intersection symbol. A intersection with A complement, then this will always give you an empty set. As I said, you can use where is this empty symbol? Yeah, you can use that empty 5 symbol also. Understood? So this is the universal definition. A complement definition. Complement is the, now here is the A complement is x such that x is an element of U and x does not belongs to A. Now you can say A complement is U minus A. Why I am saying A complement is U minus A? My complement definition says all those elements, A complement have all those elements from U which are not the elements of A, which is again the subtraction of two sets only. Universal set is subtracted, A is subtracted from the universal set. That will give you A complement. And remember these two properties, A union A complement will always give you the universal set, and A set intersection with A complement will always give you the empty set. Now see the Venn diagram of A complement. If I take A is this set, this circle in white color, and U is the universal set, then A complement is except this circle, rest all will come. That the whole shaded blue color shaded region is the universal set. Understood? So A complement is all those elements of U universal set which does not belongs to A. See, when I say universal set, rest all other set has to be the subsets of universal set. That's why in every Venn diagram, these circles are the part of the universal set, inside the universal set. Okay, I cannot take these circles outside the universal set. These circles has to be a subsets of universal set. Any Venn diagram you consider, all the circle A, circle B, or circle C, here also, all those circles lies inside the universal set, which means each and every set A, B, and C are the subsets of universal set. Understood? So that's why I kept inside. If it is outside, then all these properties may not valid. Now there are some properties of the complement. A union A complement is the universal set that we already discussed. And then A intersection with A complement will always give you an empty set. Now here there is two important properties. A union B whole complement. That means first find A union, they are given A and B sets. Then you have to find A union B, then its complement. Okay, A union B, its complement will be something. A complement is same as A complement intersection B complement. First find A complement, then find B complement, then find intersection. And the second property is, remember, third here, union is becoming intersection, and A intersection B whole complement will be A complement union B complement. Next, law of double complementation. First A complement you find, again you do its complement, then you will get back to your set A. A complement whole complement, that means if I do the complement of the same set twice, then I'll get back to the set A. Next one is universal set complement will be empty set, and empty set complement will be universal. These are the few laws of the universal, complement set. Now what you have to do is, where is this chapter? Let me open the PDF file. You can start exercise 3 and 4. I think 1.3 we already finished. Intersection, these all given, properties are given. These all diagrams are available in the textbook also. Now find the union of each of the following pair of sets. X and Y is given. You have to find the union. So here X has 1, 3, 5, Y has 1, 2, 3. So union will be, I think 1, 2, 3, 5. Here A is AEIOU, B is ABC. So union will be, I think A, B, C, E, I, O, U. Next, I think these all questions you can solve easily. Now these are the questions you have. For example, A, B, C is given as all this A, B, C, D. So you have to find all these measurements. So here what do you do? First you know how to find A minus B, A intersection B, B intersection C. If I want A intersection B, the common elements of A and B. Just look at the example. 7, 9, 11 are the common elements. If I go for B intersection C, the common elements of B and C, 11 and 13. Okay, now when you have the questions, for example this one, to solve such type of questions, what you do is, first you find A intersection B. A intersection B, I get it as 7, 9, 11. Then you find B union C. B union C is 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. Then common elements for, because intersection is there between the two, so the common elements, I think 7, 9, 11 will come common elements. Okay, so like that you have to find out the answers. Now then the subtractions are given. Then complement also, fifth exercise also, they are given the example. Let's see if any examples they are given. Yeah, one of the example you have taken given here. Universal set is given as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A is given 2, 3, and B is given 3, 4, 5. So first I have to find A complement, B complement, A complement intersection B complement. Then you find A union B and all, and verify this relation. Okay. First A complement. A is given as 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 2 and 3 is given A. So A complement is 1 will come. Then 4, 5, 6 will come. Because 2 and 3 is in A, so A complement will have 1, 4, 5, 6. Look here, 1, 4, 5. Yeah, it's selecting everything. A complement will have 1, 4, 5, 6. Now B is 3, 4, 5. B is 3, 4, 5 means B complement is 1, 2, 6. So B complement is 1, 2, 6. Now what are the common elements of A complement? A complement have the elements 1, 4, 5, 6. B complement has 1, 2, 6. What are the common elements? Because they are finding the intersection. A complement intersection B complement. The common elements as 1 as well as 6. So this is 1, 6. Next one is you have to find A union B. A union B means the elements of A and B together. A has 2, 3, B has 3, 4, 5. So A union B is 2, 3, 4, 5. So A union B is 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what is its complement? A union B complement means A union B complement will have the elements from U which are not there in A union B. For example, A union B is 2, 3, 4, 5. Agree? 2, 3, 4, 5. A union B. Now, if I go for the universal set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, what are the elements which does not belongs to A union B? Just 1 and 6. So, A union B complement will be 1 and 6. Now, A union B I got 1 and 6 complement. Then A complement intersection B complement also I got 1, 6. So, hence both are equal. That's how you verify the formulas. Okay, if the sets are given. Your next exercise is all about this only, union, complement. Try all these questions at home. Then what we do is, we'll take one revision classes after this chapter is over. Then if you have any doubts during that your live session, you can ask and we'll clarify it. Then we left out with one final topic, practical problems on the union and intersection of two sets. There are some practical problems to be solved. Next video I'll make it, which explains all these practical problems. After this chapter is over, then what we do is we'll take one doubt clarification class. Now, along with exclude this problem, then you can. Okay, your first miscellaneous is all about. This is 1.6 exercise. Where are the miscellaneous questions? Yeah, these are the miscellaneous exercise of chapter. In class 11th and 12th, we are going to solve all these miscellaneous exercises, each and every question, including examples, exercise, and miscellaneous, everything. So you may start this miscellaneous questions, as many as you can solve. If any doubts are there, again, as I said, we'll discuss it later on. Maybe by next class, we'll finish our chapter. Sorry, 6. Thank you. Have a nice day. Be safe. Keep smiling.